Oy vey, Izmir. Alright, my friends, from the LA Times. LA hotels hire migrants from Skid Row homeless shelters to replace striking workers. I gotta be honest, I read through this with a fine-tooth comb, read it several times, but I still don't understand what the fuck is going on. So when in doubt, let's ask Bling AI to explain it to us, because I don't know what the fuck is going on. Bling, can you explain it to me? What the hell is this all about?
The text refers to a situation where hotels in Los Angeles have been hiring migrants from a homeless shelter on Skid Row to replace their workers who are on strike. This has raised concerns about the exploitation of vulnerable populations and has led to an investigation into potential wage theft and violations of child labor law. The migrants, many of whom are seeking asylum, are legally allowed to work in the U.S., but their employment in these circumstances has been criticized by union representatives and others.
I still don't understand what the hell is a migrant. So, I asked another question. Are there any updates on the investigation? And let's see what it says.
Yes, there have been updates on the investigation. The Los Angeles County District Attorney, George Gaskin, has launched a full-scale investigation into the working conditions for the hired migrants at the hotels. This came after receiving tips from hospitality union Unite Here Local 11. The red flags in question are potential wage theft and violations of child labor law. The hotels under investigation include 4 Points by Sheraton, La Meridian Delfina Santa Monica, and Holiday LAX. These hotels have reportedly hired their newest employees from Skid Row. The allegations have sparked outrage among union representatives and advocates. State Senator Maria Elena Durazo, de Los Angeles, expressed her fury over the allegations. Angelica Salas, Executive Director of the advocacy organization Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights Los Angeles, called any involved hotel's actions indefensible. District Attorney George Gaskin has stated that if there are violations of the law, there will be severe consequences. He emphasized that there will be no tolerance for the exploitation of refugees. As of now, the investigation is ongoing and further updates will be provided as they become available.
Alright, after reading this, I still don't understand what is the difference between a refugee, a migrant, and an immigrant. How do we differentiate between which is which and who is who? I can't make heads or tails out of this at all. Let's take a look at the source that is being cited. DA investigating hotels hiring Skid Row. Let's click on that. Okay. Los Angeles DA launches investigation into hotels hiring Skid Row migrants to replace striking workers. Okay. Alright. And let's go back. Are there any other citations? Let's see. DA launches investigation into hotels hiring Skid Row migrants to replace striking workers. Okay. Like I said, I've gone through this several times. I still don't understand how to differentiate between who's who. Let's check out more citations right here. It seems like the same one. Okay. Seems like the same one again. Okay. So the citation again. Okay. Alright, so the citations are the same ones. https lamag.com labor hotels hiring. That's the same one we just established right here. Those are the citations given. So, because I can't differentiate between who's who, I'm going to pose a question. Are all the migrants legally authorized to work in the United States? And let's see what it says.
Not all migrants are legally authorized to work in the United States. The U.S. government grants permission to work in the form of an Employment Authorization Document, EAD, also known as a work permit. To obtain an EAD, an individual can file Form I-765, Application for Employment Authorization. You are likely eligible to apply for an EAD to legally work in the United States if you were recently paroled into the United States and that parole remains valid, or if you have applied for asylum and that application has been pending for at least 150 days. However, it's important to note that not all immigrants are eligible for an EAD. The eligibility depends on their immigration status. For example, certain non-citizens who are in the United States may file Form I-765, Application for Employment Authorization, to request an EAD. Other non-citizens whose immigration status authorizes them to work in the United States without restrictions may also use Form I-765 to apply for an EAD that shows such authorization. Therefore, while some migrants may be legally authorized to work in the U.S., not all are. It's always best to consult with a legal expert or refer to official resources for specific cases.
So, the more I read into this, it gets more and more confusing and confusing. What the hell's a non-citizen? What's a refugee? What's a migrant? What's an immigrant? I still don't understand who's who. So I continue to ask more questions, but before, let's cite the sources given. Who is eligible for a work permit? Let's see. Okay. https www.immigrationhelp.org learning. Okay, so that's one citation. This is another citation. And this is another citation. And this is the other citation. I'm giving you all the citations. Okay? So let's continue. Like I said, the more I dive in, the more confusing, the more complicated it seems. So I ask a follow-up question. I ask, does this newsfeed right here, I'm asking about this specific article right here. I ask, does this newsfeed make any distinction between who can work and who can't work legally among the migrants? I want to establish who's who because I'm confused. I don't understand who is a non-citizen. I don't know who's a refugee, who's a migrant, and who's an immigrant, and how do I differentiate between all of these groups? So I'm going to pose the question. Does this newsfeed make the distinction between who can work and who cannot work legally among the migrants? I'm talking about this article right here. This article I want to know about. So let's establish what it is going to tell us.
No, this news article does not make the distinction between who can work and who cannot work legally among the migrants. It only states that refugees and asylum seekers are legally allowed to seek work in the U.S., but it does not mention the specific requirements or eligibility criteria for obtaining a work permit. It also does not address the legal status of other migrants who may not fall under these categories. Therefore, the article does not provide a clear and comprehensive explanation of the legal authorization to work for different types of migrants in the U.S.
So, there you have it, my friends. Like I said, I've combed through this article. I did the best I could to understand this article. But at the end of the day, I still don't understand a goddamn thing about what the hell is going on with our system. It's well, it's beyond belief. Anyway, my friends, this wraps up this video. Post some comments, tell me what you think. You understand what the hell is going on here? Because I sure as hell don't understand what the hell is going on. I think, in my opinion, well, post some comments and let me know what you think of this article.